My name is Tysen Knight. I'm an international artist and award-winning filmmaker.
It is this painting that was perhaps America's first glimpse of the work of Ernest Eugene Barnes Jr., featured in the CBS show Good Times, a piece of art called Sugar Shack.
My parents took me to one of my first art exhibits, and there was this painting there, and it was done by an artist named Ernie Barnes. His artwork was the center focus artwork of JJ. It was his artwork, but it was Ernie Barnes, so he did all these really cool, like elongated arms and stuff. It was really cool. So Ernie Barnes' artwork was the artwork featured on Good Times. So I was just fascinated with this artwork because I thought it just had this really dramatic and artistic value to it. And it always made me think. It always provoked thought in me as an artist and inspired me as an artist.
Because he was artistically inclined, and we tried to focus our attention on whatever our kids were good at. So we would go to art museums, and they were having an art show over in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. And it was the October Gallery. And they featured a lot of Black artists. And one of the artists in particular was Ernie Barnes. Tysen was just like enamored. He saw the painting, and it was almost like the sky opened up and it shined right on that painting. And he just had to have it.
I saw it on the wall, and it just attracted me to it. It was just like a light was shining on it. It's like, you have to have this painting. And I came to my parents and said, hey, I would like this painting. They looked at the price. They were like, no.
And the painting was over $300. And back in, then that was a lot of money. Because, back then, to spend $300-400 on artwork that was a lot of money back then, especially when you have a family and you guys have the things that you have to do as far as pour into your other children. So we said, no, you can't have it. But he refused to leave that place without it. I thought he was going to have a temper tantrum.
So I cried about it, and my parents broke down and bought that painting for me. And that was a pivotal point for me, as a kid, because then it was just to have that in my room and look at it and be like, wow, I can be an artist like Ernie Barnes one day. So I just thank my parents a lot for, I know they didn't, really have those funds set aside to actually get that painting, but they had enough forethought to say, hey, this kid needs to have this because it's going to inspire him someday. So it all paid back tenfold. So I just appreciate that. I started when I was younger. I'd say around maybe 11, 12, 13 is when I kind of cultivated my abilities with the help of my support of my parents, putting me in private art lessons, and just really encouraging me to become an artist. And with that happened, I was able to get involved with the NAACP AXO program.
It's a program that was started by the NAACP to showcase the talent of African American kids. They have singing, they have performing arts, they have art.
I placed first there in that competition, and afforded me in 1991 to travel to where I'm at now, currently Houston, Texas, the convention center to compete for the nationals.
Won our local, he won the state, and he won the regional, and that sent him to Houston, Texas back in, I think it was 91. And he didn't win national, but he got honorable mentions for his art. That's what AXO is. It just showcases the talent of kids that probably would not have been able to showcase their talent. So.
I think, what made me want to create, I think it chose me as a really young boy, because when I was a young boy, like I would see things that most people didn't see. Like I would see things in like 3D. That's why my logo has the 3D glasses, because I see intensified things. Like there's probably things in this room like most people in here wouldn't notice, but I'll notice, because that's just how my mind works. I remember when I was in I think I was in preschool, and I had a little girlfriend in preschool, and my mother was like, "Why do you like her?" And I said to her, "Because the sun just glistens off her." Like that's just the level of like how my mind would like just work. I would always see things that people don't see, and I thought it was like something like insane, because it was like, damn, but people don't see that. But that's just a creative thing that you're blessed with, to have in your life, to see things that most people don't see. And then that's the beauty of that, is that I can take that and bring it into the world and interpret it for people to see. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, and I can share that gift, instead of saying, "Hey, why you don't see that?" I can bring that gift out and everybody can share it and see it. Yeah. In 1991, I wanted to be a full-time artist, but actually at that time, there wasn't a lot of avenues to be a full-time artist. So I did the second best thing I loved to do, was being a barber. So my parents got together with the guidance counselors at the school. I remember this gentleman's name was Mr. Hampton, really cool guy. He was like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And my parents sat down with him, and they came up with me becoming a barber. So I think it was a great transition from wanting to be a full-time artist, because barbering is kind of like a skill too. You have to use your hands a lot.
Barbers are really artists, if you think about it, because they have to, they do lines, edges, and what have you. So I really feel that his art was an extension of his barbering, because a barber has to have an eye for detail, and I felt that was a good trait for him to be in because of his artistic ability. People need to understand that, yes, you're an artist, yes, you're an actor, but you have to have something that can feed you until you really break out or get the great role or you become a successful artist. You have to have something that can support yourself. So I felt that barbering helped him, gave him the opportunity to be able to pursue his art.
I started working at this barbershop. It was a really cool barbershop called Legends. I mean, everybody went to this barbershop. I got to cut a lot of people's hair there, like the director, John Singleton, who just recently passed away, actors and athletes. And it was just a really cool shop. And the owner, his name was Goose. His name was really Brian Davis, but they call him Goose. That was his nickname. He was a really good guy, man, embraced me, gave me that opportunity to work at the shop in LA. And, at one point I was in the shop and a friend of mine came and said, "Hey, I want to go down to Palm Springs." And I went to Palm Springs with him, and I just loved the laid back vibes. And I was like, wow, this is a place you can just really it's not as much hustle and bustle as LA. So it's a little bit more laid back and had like this really beautiful backdrop of mountains, and just a really good place for an artist to be inspired and create. So I said, okay, I think I want to move here. So I made that transition in 2011 from LA. But what I didn't realize is that when I got there, I thought barber jobs would be plentiful. Like I can go anywhere, because I had so much experience as a barber. So I thought I can go anywhere and get a job. But when I got there, what I didn't realize about the area is that it wasn't that many barbershops, and especially that many urban barbershops at the time. So I couldn't get any employment as a barber. So what I did was I had savings. So what I would wake up every morning and just started creating art, and just working on art and just creating art. And like every day for like a year, I just did that. Just woke up every day and just would create. And then I found out a way to like go to the used stores and like Goodwill and get like old frames with pictures in them, take those pictures out, sand the frame, spray paint it black, put my artwork inside and go sell it. So that's how I started like getting into the art scene in Palm Springs, transitioning from Los Angeles. Was that I just got there, couldn't find a job, and just started to create art. And then it just took off from there. I started going to consignment stores, giving my art to them, selling it for like $50, $150. And then I just started getting myself, wrapped up in the art scene, meeting people, talking to people. And then I got the idea to do the documentary, the 2 documentaries that I created. One is the Art of Hustle, street art documentary, then the Art of Hustle, homeless street art documentary. From there, once those films got created, we had a showing in Palm Springs. There's a documentary festival called AM Docs Film Festival. So they screened it there for me. And after that, one of the people that was in the audience was actually the president of the Palm Springs Public Art Commission. He saw my film and reached out to me on Facebook. And he said he had a project downtown that they wanted to do, and they thought I'd be the perfect artist for this project.
Well, it was through the Palm Springs Art Commission. They reached out to me, and Russell and Ann, and they reached out to me and said, hey, we have an idea in mind for you to do a project for us. We like your style of art. We like the colors. We like how it pops. So we met, and in a couple months, I got everything nailed down, and we actually started the project, man. And I started in 122-degree weather.
So much out of my mind, right? It wasn't 122 in the middle of August,
Absolutely. They can't say I'm not dedicated.
Yeah, right. To say the least.
The City of Palm Springs and the Palm Springs Public Art Commission, they came up with an idea, because what was going to happen is that the downtown district, they were already going to replace all the benches downtown and the trash cans. And I think it was going to cost them upwards of like $500,000 to do this project. So the president of the Palm Springs Public Art Commission came up with an idea like, hey, I could save the city some money. Can I get maybe 12 of the benches, have an artist paint them? And if you guys like what you see and city council approves, we'll just get artists to paint the rest of the benches in the city and in the downtown district.
It's looking a little more colorful in downtown Palm Springs as one man uses city benches as canvases. Thanks to a pilot street bench project, Tysen Knight is dedicating hours and triple-digit temperatures to renovating old benches. If city council approves, all city benches could be painted.
And the city council approved it, said, let's do it.
It was really, really a good experience, because he put himself into those benches. Because, he does a lot of vibrant, colors, and the benches portrayed that.
At that time, it's a perfect, the stars aligned. That was a perfect time, because at that time I had just produced my first documentary, and it was showing the Art of Hustle street art documentary, and it was showing at the AM Docs Film Festival in Palm Springs. And for my blessing, the president of the Palm Springs Public Art Commission actually came to saw my film. He screened the film, and he reached out to me on Facebook and was like, hey, we got this idea. We want to know, we think you're a perfect artist to pull this off. Can you meet with me? So I met with him and we put it together. And at first he was like, can you do this project? I said yes, even though I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew this was my moment.
Hey everyone, I am sitting here, one of those incredible benches. I know you've seen them downtown. It's something I noticed when I first came to Palm Springs. All the incredible artwork on these benches. I only wish the artist was here so I could talk to him about this artwork. Hey there, how are you? I was like, oh, look at these, what a coincidence, for sure. I'm down the street right now.
Just walking about.
Just walking about. You happen to be here for the segment.
And I had 11 to 12 of them to do. And I had to do them in the hottest days in the summer, triple digits every day, because they needed to be ready, because Palm Springs has different seasons where people come into town. And they said they needed them done before the winter time, and I got them done. And that was a pivotal point in my career, because that was a point in my art career where it shifted to me just being a professional artist full time. Then they just gave the green light to paint the rest of the benches all throughout the city. And then they brought me back in as a supervisor for that. So I was able to supervise over 40 to 50 artists. And we have these art benches painted all downtown, at the convention centers in Palm Springs, and even at the parks in Palm Springs.
We did benches. It was 119 degrees outside him, and it was him, myself, and another gentleman that was helping us. And it went from a small project to one bench to the whole main thoroughfare with benches, and it went well.
I knew who she was from, the publicity that she had gotten, and we went to art shows, and I was like, so I looked her up, and I said, oh, holy, she went to the same college that I did, and I fell in love with her work, and in particular, her work, the Dixie Peach. It just brought back a lot of memories for me, and I just had to have it. So we went to an art show, and I bought 2 of her paintings. And one was called, I think it was Family Dinner. It was really nice. And then I bought one called The Snuff Dippers, because it reminded me of my mother and my aunt, because they dipped snuff. So I had to have those. But Dixie Peach was a limited edition, which meant that I think it was only maybe 200 or so in circulation. And I searched and searched and searched for years for that painting. I just had to have it. And then I was, just sitting one day and a light bulb went off. I'm like, wait a minute, my son's an artist. I know he could paint this for me. So I contacted him. I said, do you think you can, if I send you a picture of a painting, do you think you could, paint it for me? And he said, yeah, of course. Well, a year went by, he hadn't done it, and I was really getting bent out of shape. So this year, Mother's Day, he called me, of course, for Mother's Day. And I said, yeah, it would be great if I had my painting. I bet you I would even finish it. And so he said, well, how do you know I didn't finish? That's why I don't have it. So he said, have you checked your texts? I say, and I don't ever really check my texts. I tell people, if I don't respond to your text, I suggest you give me a call. So I went to my text messages, and lo and behold, it was a picture of the painting. And I had to call him back and say, ooh, I'm so sorry. Everything I said about you to everybody, I take it back. Because I really dog talking amongst family. He never did my painting. He's just doing all this other stuff. So I had to take all that back. It was kind of surreal because I had been wanting that painting for so long. I mean, I just wanted it. And when he presented it to me, I'm not like a gushy person. Like, that's not me. But I mean, it really, it made me feel, just like the end of a journey. When you reach your destination, that's how you feel. You're like, I'm here, I'm finally here. And that's how I felt about the painting. I finally have this painting that I've been wanting. I guess I have been wanting that picture for 30 years, if not longer. And now I have it, and he put his little touches in there. He has a calendar. I guess he had to, implant himself in there somehow. So it's calendar, and it has his birth date on it and his name. So that makes it even more special.
Good morning, Angela. It is a art heaven here, and to show us around is the creative himself, Tysen Knight. Tysen, tell us a little bit about this piece right here.
All right, well, this piece is actually my logo for me. I took this picture. The picture was taken when I was a kid, and I just took it and digitized it and made it actually my logo. I was born in the 70s, so I put the 3D glasses on it just to kind of, because I like my art to pop. So I thought when I was a child, I would go look at the movies with the 3D glasses, and everything was like coming at me. So that's why I went with that style there. And just, then I went with different colors, because people were like, hey, we love your logo, but we like the different colored glasses. So I just went different colors with the glasses. So it was a logo of me as a child. And I think it's just great. It just ties into like my art style and what I do. So, and it says, let your creativity flow.
I love it. It's so vibrant.
My forte is like visual art, painting, drawing, wall murals, but I love all types of art. I've dabbled in acting, I've done modeling in New York. I played the boyfriend in music videos for certain artists like Maya, Fantasia, Chrisette Michele. So, I love all parts of art. I think art is in everything: theater, dance, music, visual art. So I've been in almost all of those different genres in some regard, but visual arts is like my forte and my main thing, but I just love all art. So I think all creativity is amazing. My style of artwork visually is, I love to use lots of color. I think color is like one of the most beautiful things you can use when it comes to art, because if you use the proper colors and use like bright colors, it makes people pay attention. You grab their attention with colors. So in all of my artwork, I use tons of color. I view art as therapy. I think being a creative, you know, studies have been done, because I do a lot of mentoring in schools around the country. And it's been documented and studied that being creative helps with focus, mental stability, all around just your well-being. Being creative is a really, really good mental stimulation for people. So I would suggest that, you know, everybody do some creative. Like, I think some people block themselves because they were like, oh, I'm not an artist. I had a lady one time, I was doing an event and she came up to me, she's like, I love your artwork. She said, I wish I was an artist. I said, can you draw a stick figure? She said, yeah. I said, well, you're an artist. She's like, you know what, no one ever put it in that way for me. And I said, you know, I think everybody's creative. Like, I think we look at how the artist is working, compare themselves to that. But I think everybody can be creative in some capacity. You know, don't judge it against someone else's creativity. Just be in your lane with your creativity. So, and I think it's a really good mental stimulation to be creative. I mean, it's so many things you can be creative. I know people that crochet. I know people that do sculptures, you know, filmmaking. You know, it's just so many ways that you can be creative. I think we just don't compare yourself to others in creativity, because creativity it's limitless. The blessing for me is that I came up in an era before social media. So parents are a little bit more involved in a sense. Life was a little bit slower. We didn't have all the technology and all the things to like grab your attention and to make the attention span of people so short now because of the social media and all the things going on. So I would just tell parents to like limit the social media that your kids are on and find out what they're good in and get them at a small age and put them in that and guide them in that direction to pursue whatever they're pursuing. I mean, I know it's a little bit tougher now just because, you know, it's 2024, so life is so different than 1994, for an example, right? So I would tell parents to like just zone in on what your kids like to do and see if there's an interest there. And if your kid's interested in it, if they keep going in that direction, then you know to pour into that and just get your kids involved in a lot of activities. My nonprofit is called Tysen Knight Scholarship Fund. I started that nonprofit because I saw that there was a lack in art education and encouraging kids in the arts. Hey, how you guys doing? This is Tysen Knight. I'm excited to announce the Tysen Knight Scholarship Fund. This fund will help students to reach the highest level of their education and excellence in arts. This scholarship fund will help students get to the next level of their careers and be the best they could be in their artistic abilities and have a career and be inspired. A portion of the sales from TysonKnight.com will go towards this scholarship fund. So anybody that wants to apply for this scholarship fund, look for the info on TysonKnight.com. Anybody wants to buy any artwork, a portion of those sales will go to the Tysen Knight Scholarship Fund. And always, always be inspired. And we've given out over 10 scholarships so far with my scholarship fund. And we also put together field trips for younger kids to go to the museums, and like you'll give them art supplies and they can go anywhere in the museum and find anything that inspires them, and they can sit there and draw it and paint it. So we do a lot of programs, you know, Tysen Knight Scholarship Fund. We do a lot of programs to just spread awareness about art.
I knew that he was an artist because he would I'll never forget when he was like 2 or 3, he would draw me stick figures, but he would put every feature. He would draw a circle on the face for the jaw, for the chin. Then he'd do the jaws, he'd do the eyes, he'd do the nose.
For any young artist that wants to have a career in art, in the art world and really share their art with the masses and around the world, I would think the first thing you have to do is not get in it for the money. That's number one. If you're in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. I would say that the best thing to do is find a purpose to match your art. Once you find a purpose to match your art, then you're able to cultivate something genuine, something organic, and something that people can actually be inspired by. You know, you can't, if it's all about the money and have your stuff exhibited in galleries, I think that'll take you so far. You know, I think it has to have a meaning and a purpose. Like my art has to have a meaning. I just don't do any shows or anything that just for art's sake. I do it because the art can touch people, change lives, and inspire people and give people hope. So once you take the art, match it with a purpose, and those two worlds combine, then you have something. And I think that's what you should focus on. And also, I would say too, as far as your style of artwork, any young artist or any artist in particular that wants to be in this business, your style of artwork, stay true to your style of artwork. Don't let people tell you you need to change this or you need to change that or go this direction, because what I know is once you find the art, your purpose, and your style, those three things now, I'm adding not your style, your community will come. The people that's gonna like your art are out there. In closing, I'm gonna say this, it's two words that I live by. And I put it on every post that I create on social media, and it's be inspired. You know, I just want people to be inspired, because I think if you're inspired to do something, then you would give it a shot.